Hi, everyone. It's Susan here. Welcome to another live show. Gwyneth, thanks for joining me today. And Jeff, hopefully you're not pulled over in your truck today, but you can actually join us and sit down and relax. Casey, how are you doing? Hi, I recently started watching your videos, finally able to catch one of your live sessions. This is awesome. You can ask me a question here, put it in super chat, and I will answer it for you. So firstly, couldn't do any of this or be fabulous without Bea and Gwyneth. If any of you need help, they are here for you. I am so blessed to have them both. They're here when they get sick. They're here when they're camping. And I love you two ladies immensely. Okay, today we are talking about the shock, the horror, the hurt, the anger when your ex moves on way too quickly. And I'm also taking these opportunities during the live show to do my reading of the video requests that you sent to me, because formerly I made individual videos about that. And I'm now doing more generic titles that have more to do with all of you. So your video requests will be paired with one of my conversations here in the live show. So this is about your ex moving on quickly. You know, it's bad enough to have the breakup, right? And then you're barely recovering. You're still trying to process it. And they're happy. They're happy. And they've moved on. Worse yet, with seeming ease. And that stings, because you begin to wonder the obvious. Oh my God, am I completely delusional? Did I have anything with them at all? Patricia, hi love, how are you doing? Eliane, how are you doing? Second time catching you live. Very happy to have you here. And our dear Jillian, happily coupled, joins us every day that we are having this on, and she is so fabulous. She's the one that coined the word Susanite. So let me read. Mimi, I don't know if you're catching this, but maybe this has to do with a lot of other people. So Mimi writes, thanks so much for your videos. They've helped me a lot while I went through a breakup of a 7-year relationship. The final breakup is 3 weeks ago. We tried a second time. After that, I was on a really good way with myself, hopeful and excited for the future. But then I got a call from him last week, and he told me he's got a SO, means significant other. New, and it's serious. How can I move on? It's so fast of him. Yes? Hey, Susie Q, how you doing? And Eric lost her boyfriend, thinks she's, let's see, would leave. She lost her best friend, thinks she's a nurse. I'm catching you late here, so let me go back to this. Okay, I think Eric is talking to Jeff or somebody else here. Hi, Nathan, how are you doing? Right out of the gate, $10. What can I do for you? Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear. I'll make the mental adjustments. That's what you give us. You are an MVRE. Oh, most valuable relationship expert. Oh, Nathan. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, you are a doll. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you for your contributions. I really appreciate it. Well put, Nathan. Eric, you're commenting on your situation. Please comment if you'd like. Thanks, Eric. I caught it out of context. So y'all are having some conversation over here. Let me finish this, and then I can fully focus on all of you. I try to catch up with you. I want you to know I'm engaged. The live shows are so that we can interact in person, or as best as we can electronically. So let me first talk about what I think are 6 things that really, really hurt when an ex moves on quickly, okay? First question, why so fast? How is it that they can do it so quickly when you're still sobbing your way and trying to sleep at night and going over every text and trying to think if it, like, what did you do wrong? Now, it's different. I will shoot it from the context of the dumper and the dumpee. When the dumper moves on quickly, okay, you're going to wonder, was it real? If they did that with such ease, did I even have anything with them? Worst of all, how am I a fool? Were they always in this relationship? Did I think I had something? If you can find somebody so fast, I mean, really, if you end a relationship and in under a couple weeks you're in a new and serious relationship, what do you think the odds are that you didn't warm that plate up first? You've been cultivating that. You don't just meet somebody and decide, oh, I'm going to be in a committed relationship with you. This is really serious. You've been talking to them. You've been, spurring this relationship forward. So obviously, if you were the dumpee, you're beginning to wonder if you have an accurate radar to even read accurately what the partner, were they honest? Were they there? How long were they unfaithful? Were they unfaithful? Were they emotionally cheating? Were they physically cheating? So this is going to put it, breakups are bad enough. This is going to put you into an absolute tailspin. So here are your issues. One, how could they move on so fast? Two, did they ever care about you to begin with? If they can move on that quickly, is it reflective of the lack of depth of emotion they had for you? That it's just as easily as blowing your nose in a tissue and throwing it away? Is it that easy? It means there must not be depth. It's that simple to get over. And of course, I think for me, as I look at this as a relationship expert, I think of where you are all positioned. What would bother me is, was it real? Were you playing me? Was I always just convenient? Because real love doesn't just and move on. Okay. And another thing, and this is where it's pissing you off, it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm suffering. You're happy. It's not fair. Okay. You get away with everything. You're going to take all the love I gave you, give it to the new person, and that's what you're all thinking, right? They get everything I didn't get. Okay, and then something you cannot do. I'm going to beg all of you. I know you're curious, and you are going to want to look at their social media. You're going to do the obvious. You are going to compare yourself to that new person because you are trying to think, what do they have that I don't? What was so tantalizing that you left me and had them positioned and ready to go, and you leapt right into a new relationship? I'm that easy to get rid of. For this. Now, that is the worst thing you could do because your mind will work against you. I promise you. Your mind, your ego will say, oh, they're not that big. Oh, they're not that great. They don't look that successful. They're not that good looking. Your ego will say that. But inside, your little child inside you is saying, oh my God, I don't understand it. So you are hurting yourself by watching their social media and filling in the spaces that you don't understand with your worst case scenario imagination. And don't even try to imagine what they're doing sexually because that will torture you. Everything is good in the beginning. And whatever that person is getting is a version of what you have already experienced. And if you think they were the best partner in the world, then maybe you lost something valuable. But more times than not, the thoughtlessness, the lack of effort, the lack of attention, whatever, the critical behavior, the mind games, any of that, it wasn't just like they did it to you and you're the one off. This is how they roll. So if you are torturing yourself mentally, looking at their social media page, thinking, oh, they're getting the best of them because I know y'all, because that's what you do, because I've done it and I know that's what humans do. Okay. You're thinking they're getting a better version and you got the crummy version. And that's also what doesn't make it fair, right? But I guarantee you, it's the same person. Each individual can elicit a different shade of the characters that we have inside us. Some people bring out your humor. Some people bring out your playfulness. Some people bring out your intellectual side. And the new partner will pull out different components. But if you had a person who, had really serious character flaws, this new person isn't getting a better deal. So please try and take that off the plate because that is not helping you. Okay. The other thing is, okay, so I just talked about being jealous of it. Also, so the social media stalking, please don't do it. Gossiping, oftentimes we try to get revenge by tearing them down or saying things about them, and it looks like we're doing a good job in diminishing them, but it actually just makes you look really bad because then your friends and people around you are going to say, I, you know, good God, you were with them 6 years and they did this. You were with them 7 years. Why did you even associate with somebody like that? So gossiping poorly about them, other than a very concise, short statement of the abusive behavior, the neglect or whatever, or the lack of commitment, it actually works against you and makes you look bad. Okay. And revenge. Great in movies. The karmic payback in real life, I promise you. I've watched people do this to me. They get a kick out of something. They're going to get revenge for something. If I end a friendship or end a relationship as kindly and honestly and thoughtfully as I can, the backslap, it hurts, but it hurts them far more because they can't take it back. And it only feels good for a second. The revenge that you exact on another person feels good in the minute, but it's like a drug. It was a great high, but the crash is horrible. So I'm going to urge all of you to not go through that. Don't do it to yourself. Okay? And another question is about why is it possible that they can move on so easily? And I will describe this in a way, and then I'll start to pay attention to all your questions here. The dumper may move on quickly because they had something going with somebody, or they were done with you. I just got to be straight. They were done. They had left a long time in their mind. You're just now learning about it. And it doesn't mean you're bad or wrong. It means you weren't a match, and whatever they want, they didn't see in you. It doesn't mean you're defective. It means that is not the right person for you. And you cannot try to get them back in a fresh breakup. Don't even think about it. If they've moved on to somebody else, you have to listen to this, please, because this is the arc of infatuation. They are the same person that has the same issues that you experienced, and they go on to this new person, and it's like, oh my God, they're getting everything. They're getting married. They're getting everything I didn't want. Sometimes it does happen. Okay, sometimes it does. I have to be honest with you. But most times, if you've had a short-term relationship with somebody who didn't quite commit and you were in and out and in and out, and it wasn't a really solid, committed, loving relationship with somebody who was a really good person, what they're going for is just another quick thrill. Okay, the same thing is going to repeat for them. So please don't glorify what you think that they're getting. And for you, the dumpy, moving on very quickly, that's the Band-Aid repair system. That's what we do to erase the person's memory. It's the stuff of songs. Get over somebody by getting under somebody else. We are hoping to be excited by somebody else. We're hoping to transfer this. And for those of you who've lost somebody that you're obsessing over, not that easy to switch addictions, not that easy to transfer it onto somebody new. And you hunt and you look and you hunt and you look, praying to God somebody else will excite you the way that one did. And we call that a rebound. Okay, let's see what we have. Naftusa. Hello, beautiful lady. How are you? Love is gentle, love is kind and unselfish. True intentions become apparent after a breakup. Most do not love their partners and never have. That is true. Listen, oh, Mito, Sweden. Hello, hi. Oh, he's got little snowflakes. I love him. Oh, listen, all of you, I really care for you so much. I love it when I see the names. And if I've been talking to you on social media and you're like, oh, I watch your show, and you have a different name, I might not know who you are. So please let me be. They don't want to be alone. Yeah, most people don't want to be alone, right? People are afraid of being alone. And worse yet, we're afraid of what our friends will think about us. Imagine you're in a 2-year relationship with somebody, you think it's going somewhere. Maybe you think you're going to get married or live together, and they break up with you and they tell you it's not working out, whatever. And they move on to somebody else. And worse yet, what if that person is actually kind of cool and fabulous and successful and all these other things? Hang on, I'm going to change the lights here. Okay. And you're looking at them going, oh my God, I feel like shit. What's going on? And that's why people like Mimi start off, and say, I started off hopeful. I invested in myself. You are the rider. The horses may change during the race. Okay? It's just the way it is. We are not living in the 1800s someplace or late 1800s in a far west town here in the US where we've got I don't know, 15 possible matches. And nobody leaves anybody because they need it to survive. We are in a time period of endless options that seduce everyone. You are looking for a good, kind, thoughtful partner. And it hurts when they move on because naturally it looks like commentary about you. It appears to you, and it could appear to others, that you are easily replaceable. And that is what hurts. Our ego hurts and our heart hurts. And you have every right to be pissed, and you have every right to feel that it's unfair. And you have every right to be angry and be resentful and all those things. So kick and scream and run that extra mile and, I don't know, get it out in the boxing gloves and whatever you're doing. But don't harm yourself, and be thoughtful when you enter a new relationship. Please don't start scrambling. I promise you, if you are weakened, desperate, hungry for affection, and out there hunting for anyone to try to take away your pain, oh my goodness, that person is going to give you so much pain. They'll give you far more pain than this one gave you. So we don't want to do that. Now, I'm all about you. Send me your super chats. Send me your questions. How can I help you? I will be ego wound for sure. Yep. No to rebounds. You're all so smart. I can end the show now. You all know what you're doing. Listen, I'm getting a new computer tonight. Well, I've got it. It's sitting over there. And hopefully the camera is a little bit warmer and a little bit nicer. It'll be a higher resolution. I'm not necessarily crazy about that, but yeah. So it'll be a little bit different next week. Jeff, what if God ruined my plans so my plans wouldn't have ruined me? Although it hurts, I'm glad I tried. Jeff, I love that. I love that. This is like an Oprah moment. I love that. That is really cool. Sometimes when relationships end, we think, shoot, I wasted X amount. Hang on, let me see if I can move this. X amount of time on this. I've got to get out back there. Fear of FOMO. Yeah, not that much out there that you have to race to get. The right relationship, you won't have to be running like crazy to catch it. As a matter of fact, it's kind of counterproductive. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be aware, optimistic, hopeful, open, but you don't have to chase. That implies that there's already a sense of lack, and we don't need to present that to others, okay? It scares me so much to say that I've never had my heart broken because someday I fear that I might happen. Okay, you are the second person I've ever met in my life that can say that. The first was named Sonia. She swore that she has never had her heart broken ever once in her life. She's very cautious to exit before they possibly could. Now, you're lucky. I'm surprised you're on this channel. Must be something else, because just because you haven't had your heart broken doesn't mean that it is a requirement for life. It might mean that you choose well and that you have um, decent human beings. And then when it ends, it's an amicable separation and uncoupling. That would be fantastic. All right, let's see. Hey, Susan, I'm never missing a live show. Ilan, how are you doing? Uh, Even we're in a war in Israel. Oh my gosh. Sending you love and protection and positive thoughts. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, what if the rush into getting another to replace you was because of the void of you being gone was too much for them, maybe? What if I think it's they rushed into getting into another was to replace you because, yes, this can happen. Are you talking, Shiva Diva, are you talking about when the dumper rushes into another relationship? The dumper dumped you, and then suddenly they're like, oh my God, now I've got nobody. I don't know what to do. I've got to get somebody else. Yeah, people on both ends, dumper and dumpy, can be uncomfortable being without a partner because they think it means something about them. Single by choice is a full category. It doesn't mean single and miserable, doesn't mean you're automatically an incel, doesn't mean that you're unattractive. It just means you're like, whatever. Maybe if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I couldn't care less. So that's cool. Okay. SL says, Susan, would you say that relationships are also based on luck and destiny? You know, some of my Chinese friends really adhere to those things and astrology. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Nowadays, I don't know the difference between luck and mental preparedness and the power of our thoughts. That's a hard discernment for me. Are there people who are? Let me wrap this up. I'll have to do it this way. There's a guy in my gym. He is a famous Broadway actor, dancer, and performer. The first day he got to New York, he got a job on Broadway. That's unusual. That's luck. And luck should have something to do with it, but how do we affect luck? Like, what do you do to be lucky? This is not a realm that I really work in because I don't know how to activate luck, but I do know how to prepare for the possibility of a better outcome through our mental attitude, through our feelings about ourselves, through our clarity of what we want and what we don't want, and through thinking positively and allowing for that possibility to occur. And then to have good behavior and to be a good partner on the other end that will keep the partner there and pull in the right people. So I don't know that luck is my skill set. Got to be honest with you. Love to hear more about that if you have any ideas. Let me see. I think 3 are faded timing. Well, now I'm going to do a video shortly on timing. Timing is key. Jackie, they had a replacement lined up before breaking up. I kind of think so too. And Shady B square, so B, whatever that is, spirituality helped me find love. Fantastic. If spirituality opened up the possibility for you to imagine more, see more, and trust more and let go, it had a lot to do with how attractive and how open and how magnetic you were. Jeff, It's crazy how peaceful life becomes when you raise the bar on who has access to you. Love it. Jeff, love, love, love that comment. I'm going to read that again for everybody. Okay. Jeff Phillips says, it's crazy how peaceful life becomes when you raise the bar on who has access to you. That's why at the top of this year, 2023, I told you that my buzzword for everybody dating, because people were back online, it was filter, filter, filter. And that meant filter for what is a good, kind, nice human being. Okay. And I love the love. I saw the hearts. Thank you very much. Shady agrees. Shady B square, I think. I don't know what that is. I've never heard a broken heart, but it does. I've never had a broken heart, but it does scare me. Don't let it. Why? This is not something to go toward. This is why. This is like when Nathuza writes me and tells me something like, "Oh, I've never been abused, and I've never wanted somebody who didn't want me back." And I'm like, "No, that's good. You're good. You're good. You don't have a problem." I am a relationship expert. I like to deal with couples that are having or individuals in a partnership that are having issues that they can't seem to see their way through. The majority of all that I'm doing now is dating, getting into a relationship, avoiding bad relationships, because that is what the dominant questions are. And so if I'm always talking about negative things, I don't mean to. I'm just addressing the current issues of the day, and we are finding ways to work with that and work around it and get to resolution. But if you don't have a problem and you don't have a broken heart, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not bad. You shouldn't worry about it. You've had some very, well, now I might say lucky. You've had some fortunate encounters with good people. You either have inherently good people around you, you've made wise choices, and you've judged character properly. That's fabulous. Doesn't mean that everybody's going to get a broken heart. You get a broken heart when, you know, when we want something to be the way we want it rather than how it is. We get a broken heart when we try to implant our vision on somebody that doesn't want what we want and they don't want it with us. We get a broken heart when we fantasize over somebody that it's so far out of our field of possibility that, if I fall in love with Tom Hardy and like, oh my God, it's got to be Tom Hardy, and I go crazy over him. I mean, like, really? No. Okay, so we have to be realistic. We have to be positive and expand to the furthest potential of what is possible and a little bit beyond. So you shoot for the moon, you fall a little bit past, but you also, we're somewhat realistic about the kinds of people that we might meet in our lives, right? Okay. What is your opinion? Is the relationship with the dumper and his mistress going to last? Okay, let's say that that's the situation. Depends. New terrain, a new body to explore is exciting. Remember, there is an arc. And for the straight male animal, there is an arc of anywhere from a couple months, maybe it could be a couple weeks. In the animal kingdom, the male normally stays around about long enough to have the babies born, depending upon the species, right? That's it, just to protect the infants and then move on. So in our case, maybe 9 months maximum, but oftentimes people just see something shiny new and imagine there's a difference, something they didn't experience in their current relationship. They had a brunette, they wanted a blonde. They had somebody sassy and argumentative that they thought was exciting to begin with, and now they want docile. I don't know. They want something different. And so they've started this relationship. Could it go someplace? Maybe. Oftentimes, the individual is hunting. And I mean hunting for something they don't even understand. So in order to actually answer that question for yourself, you have to go back and to the best of your ability, analyze the personality and disposition of your former partner. Is my former partner somebody who's never had long-term relationships? Then he wanted new meat, new experience, new sexual partner. That's it. Did my partner have the ability to work through uh, conflict to get to resolution? No. My partner always shut down, made it my fault. Well, then they just switched the aggravation of not getting to conflict resolution with you, and they'll transpose it onto the next person. So you can answer that question far more accurately by knowing, why did the breakup occur? What was it that separated the two of you? Hopefully you have some kind of answer. Hopefully, or you're going to have to do your own forensic research. And in which case, take the best shot you've got. I've got the whole way to do this in Breakup Triage, The Cure for Heartache, that little tiny audio booklet. It's like nothing. It's free on Audible. I think it's like 99 cents or $1 on Amazon. So it's just 33 minutes. It'll show you how to go through the whole thing. And we don't know what they're looking for, but you will know if you've been attuned to who they are at their core and how they work. Pretty much who they were with you is pretty much who they're going to be with the next person. Okay? Generally speaking. What else? Ilan says, I think once it's over, it doesn't matter if the ex is with someone else. He's not with you, single or not. Okay, that is the bottom line answer. All of this will really hurt until you really do the processing yourself. You've got to go through an entire system, and you should have a system that you know works for you if a relationship ends. The exit strategy is just as important, even if you're forced to exit before you wanted to, right? These are very important tools to have. Do you know how to analyze what happened? Do you know your part in it? Was it just them? Normally it isn't. Even if they had bad behavior, what did you accept? What did you not stand up for as far as your own rights and boundaries? Did you call them out, or at least bring up a conversation of the things that hurt you? Okay. Hi, Rahul. How are you doing? In time, true character shows through. You are correct. Okay, Jackie, I've cheated and I have not. And Jackie, I have cheated and I have not with relationships. So I would say that's not 100% true. You're all talking to each other. That's fabulous. Carrie Photo, how are you doing, Carrie? Do the inner work. My ex moved on quickly. So after a 5-year relationship, they went on to marry. This can happen. It can. I know a story. You're going to love the ending. I know a story of a good-looking and nice young a doctor, not PhD doctor, like a medical doctor. And he lived with a lovely woman for about 7 years. She desperately wanted to get married. There was nothing wrong. He just didn't make a move. Went on a conference to California, met a woman accidentally in a restaurant, in the restaurant bar, in the hotel bar, whatever. They sat down for a 6-hour conversation. The next day he met her. The next day he met her. Came home and decided, this is the woman I have to marry. Left girlfriend, number one, that he lived with for 7 years. Now, what was wrong with her? He just didn't feel it. Whatever it was, there was nothing wrong. But that last thing, I don't know if he took her for granted. I don't know if she was too nice, and that's not a bad thing, but she might not have had the ambition, whatever it was. This lady who sat down with him, because I sat down with both of them, told him, I need this, I need that, I need this, it's going to be like this. She was so opposite the last girl. He immediately got engaged, got married. The woman is a terror. I know her, I've met her. And because there's social connections, I hear about the fallout. This man has suffered suffered ever since. He's got to go home to that lady every day, and he's got to stay married. He's got kids. So she's difficult. She's opinionated. So here's what can oftentimes happen. And beware, it can happen to you too. You leave somebody because they're too docile, they're not ambitious. Yeah. Or you're still in the relationship, but actually you're kind of gone because you're just marking time. They're not bad, they're not wrong, you don't hate them. You're a little bored, but it's not bad, so you don't leave. And then through no effort that you planned, you run into somebody who is the opposite. So that little thing that stopped you from really kicking into number one that you were with, you suddenly see glimmers of this, and big time in number two, the new possibility. So you're like, oh my gosh, I've discovered what I need. This is it. So you go racing toward number two, right? And those of you who were dumped, just switch it and make it your partner, right? Your ex. They go racing toward number two, thinking this is everything I've wanted. See, they're just as nice, they're just as focused, they want to be a partner, blah, blah, blah. They want everything I want, and they've got this element that I need. But that element is in hyperdrive because it's so visible from day one. So whether it's being really open sexually, or if it's like, I want to travel the world, it gets extreme, and it'll bite that person or you on the flip side. Okay. So it doesn't always work out. Let me see who I have here. Ilian, how are you? 5. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I will have a coffee date with a match next week. And this is your first chat. Thank you. Should I stop chatting with new people on the dating apps? And if yes, when? You are the best, Susan. Thank you, Ilian. No, a coffee date is a meet and greet. It's like Nika sniffing somebody's butt in the park. It's not a big high stake event. Coffee date is coffee date. Now, you're talking about closing down apps and making a committed thing. I would suggest you don't close all of your opportunities first. If you and a person continue to like each other a lot, you can begin to talk about what it is that you would like to create. What do you want? Do you want a family? Do you want a wife? Do you want a partner? What do you want? How do you envision it? This is why it's so important to have your own a la carte version of how you want to experience your love. What is the formula? What's the container? So you meet an agreeable person. You like them. You're attracted to them. It's fun. There's chemistry. You need to start putting out where you're going to see if they're going there too, which warrants the second date and the third date. And if the two of you keep liking each other, I suggest before you get physical, saying, do you want to try this? Do you want to, I would like to focus on you. What do you think about that? See, I personally cannot multitask anything. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. Maybe I need to defragment the computer. I lose concentration. And actually, it's proven that all the millennials that think they can multitask feel like they're doing a lot of stuff, but you're not going into deep flow state. So I think a good negotiation is, you want to try this? Let's try this. Let's pick a time period just to try to, exclude other people, pull off the apps, figure out what we want to do, and then negotiate, then come back and talk about it. Right? So I think that is the way I would do it. And thank you so much. It's so great to have you here. I really appreciate that. And we are celebrating their first super on the live stream. Jeff, my dear. Hello, dear Jeff. Okay, wait, I've got to get back here. Don't let one person control your joy. You learned a lot by pulling that truck over, didn't you? Oh my goodness. Still healing, but going in the right direction now. I wished she had emotional capacity to tell me why, but that's just the way it goes. Now, Jeff's situation, obviously what he's telling us is there's a breakup. I remember it vaguely from reading through the notes last week. Not a whole lot of reasons why. It is a big pain in the butt to have to fill in the spaces. Step one of breakup triage, for any of you who've listened to it, find the reason. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have a reason, even if you have to just guess, your mind cannot begin the process of making it make sense to you if you don't have a reason. Just take the best guess. They couldn't, they can't stay committed. Jeff, maybe she's got a history. Does she keep switching jobs? Doesn't like this, likes a friend for a while, doesn't like that, bought a dress, wants to return it. Maybe she can't make a decision. Maybe she doubts herself. Maybe she liked you and got scared. And instead of saying, I got scared, you scare me, I like you, there's a lot here. She didn't even have the skill set to go forward, so she just ran. I don't know what it is. Maybe she still wants to work it out with her ex-boyfriend that treats her terribly. I don't know the deal. And you may not know the deal. Pick an idea. Just pick an idea, write it down, sit with it. It starts the process. Remember, Susan's definition of obsession is the mind desperately trying to make sense out of something for which it has no information and there's no logical reason. You don't know why it happened, but you can't move forward. We are meaning-making machines. We have to label. This is how we progress. We put a label, but we always allow it to expand. There's no one and done forever here. We make decisions. We have them so that we can process and move forward, and then we are allowed to alter them. You must, as you get new input. So start there. I think this is brilliant. Jeff, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Glad you're here. Okay. Christy, 10, thank you so much. So the message was retracted. I will look for your message. Oh, here it is. The guy I dated chose someone over me who doesn't work or speak languages, came from a poor country to get a man here, uneducated, but he still wants to lose me. I'm so sorry they want less. You're too good. They want less than you because less is easy. When a person leaves great because they want less, they are screaming with a t-shirt with big signs, I don't like myself. I'm scared. I'm small. And I want to feel big around this person because they will need me. These are the people that get used. Oh my God, they get somebody crafty who's like, oh my God, you think I'm not educated. You think I don't have a chance here. They will be a stepping stone for somebody to use and abuse them. You did not have an equal partner. Thank you that person fell off the conveyor belt. Okay? The broken toys will come off the conveyor belt because they don't pass the inspection. This one opted off themselves. They're like, ooh, I'm going to leap off because I know this is big girl stuff. I'm not dealing with this. The lesser left you. It's a pain. I'm sorry. At least you can say this. Right? Okay. Yep. Okay, so she needs him. He's so insecure. He can't have a powerful person, Christy. And listen, everybody, think about, why did they leave you? Why did they leave you? I'm the only one that does videos on power and power imbalances because it's not an SEO title. As my buddy Jonathan said, I don't do those. They're not. I know it's not an SEO title. It's really important. People do not feel comfortable if they think you've got more power and you have more options. Sometimes the lesser will leave you. And you know what? You know why that stings? You're like, damn it. That's stupid. I got more to offer and you're leaving me? You're leaving me. Yes, because you make them feel uncomfortable. They feel small because they know next to you they're not expansive. They don't have a growth mindset. They don't want what you want. And it's so much work to keep up with you. It's like me dating somebody that wants to run all the way around the park. I mean, Nika's a tiny sled dog, but between a torn Achilles, 5 bulging discs in my lumbar, everything else I got, a hip replacement, I'm not going to sign up for a pro athlete that wants me to go hiking and running and jumping. Not a good skill set for me, right? Do you know how exhausted I'd be trying to do that? Or what if you're with a super intellectual and all they do is pocket you with a bunch of boring people that are talking some kind of very specific language of their individual, whatever it is that they do, and you're just sitting at the table nodding and smiling and trying to be okay with it? You'll be exhausted. You will want to get out of there, call when your friends, have pizza, kick back, watch Netflix, and just be yourself. Water will find its own level. Grateful. And Christy, let's all give Christy an applause for the broken partner that left her. Yay! Christy, you're free. Free to move on to better, okay? But he still doesn't want to lose you. Yeah, you know why? And don't let him keep contact either. He doesn't want to lose you because you're functional. Now he's got to carry the non-functional person. Gwyneth, the guy I dated chose someone over me. Yes, okay, I saw that. Gwyneth, thank you, my dear. Okay, what do we have here? Wait, go on. I missed something else. Christy, the story is long and I have a hard time getting over this rejection because of someone less. Yes, okay, good. I was on the right track, okay? And he never posts anything about her. He didn't care to tell me who she was for a long time. How can I move on? I think I answered it. Okay, I saw this later, but this is not your person. This is not your match. They did it for you. This is good. Do not let yourself continue to be their buoy or their life raft, okay? Because the other one is not going to help them at all. So they're going to come to you for basic things, okay? Functional things. And you don't have time, okay? You move on. Move higher. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's not punishment. I want to be really clear about that. This is not like, oh, no contact, you left me, so I'm going to be, oh, you don't get me anymore. No. It is to get you refocused to only letting positive, good, quality people in, like Jeff said, okay? You are refocusing so that this kind of person, you're not a social worker, or maybe you are, but I don't want to be a social worker to my partner, and it's not your job, okay? Hugs, Christy. Thanks, Shady. I never let anyone else control my joy because they do not get that kind of power over me. All right, Miss Seaside Hill Granny, you got it going on. All right. Let me see. I think somebody else sent me a super chat. Richard, $10. Richard, thank you so much. I love seeing my guys on this show. Thank you so much. I think that usually the dumper knows well in advance that the relationship won't work. That is true. The dumper should disclose the issue or issues as soon as he or she realizes the disparity in the levels of affection. I agree. And Richard, people don't because they're greedy. They're selfish and they're scared of the conversation. So think about it like this. You've got a few more public events that you're going to do together, and you were going apple picking, or you had a little trip someplace for the weekend. It's going to be really uncomfortable if you start to unload the fact that, by the way, I'm just not feeling it for you anymore. I think we're growing apart. So what they try to do is a exit where they're not going to have to talk to you a lot. I agree that this is preferable, and I agree that this is mature and correct, but people defer to what is easy and convenient for themselves. And that's why they don't do it. Okay, let me see. Gwyneth, hello, dear. And Carrie, photo. Okay, anything else? Did I miss anything here? I want to make sure. I've got Christy. I've got Jeff. I've got the coffee date. Yes, I think that's anything else. Anybody here have any questions? Okay. It's not fun. It doesn't. And I think too, a little bit of our ego. Your friends open up social media and they're like, you're broken up with what's right. He's going to Bali with the new girlfriend, right? Did you see that? Wow, he moves fast. Yeah, oftentimes people do have one foot out of the door. That is true, Richard. Okay, Leslie. Hi, Susan. Even in friendship, I went through this. He wasn't open in having a conversation about it. Therefore, I accepted it and I moved on. Lester, that's great. Okay, Carrie Photo. Feeling guilty over that kind of thing can be from a non-healthy relationship growing up. JCL 2022. It caused us to want to leave others feeling good. I did that too. Okay. Interesting. Question here is what's wrong with people that go back to their ex when they didn't treat them right? I've done videos on this. This is way before you met them. It has to do with erasing their history, which we can't do. It is embedded in their childhood experiences, and they are trying to recover, reclaim, and change the storyline on some past painful experience in their life. And many of us will date versions of the parent that was the most challenging, the family member that was most challenging. We'll find ourselves drawn to that unconsciously because we know it. It doesn't make sense logically, and anybody on the outside is looking at it saying, this is messed up. But those in it, this is what they know. It's unfortunate and it's painful. If you've been dumped because your ex went back to somebody that they did nothing but complain about, that was so cruel to them, created so many problems, you know that that partner that left you has so many unresolved issues. And your only error was that you were a little too healthy and didn't trigger them. You want them back? Be as messed up as their ex. But you can't because you're not that person and you're healthier. So you move on. We try to keep amending our design so that we are upgrading with each partner. You know, each time we get off a horse, a new one's replaced, and we're the same rider on different horses. We try to utilize all the skills, all the information from the last one, make our amendments. Half the time, the creating of our a la carte is simply the opposite of what you don't want. Don't want this, so obviously I want this. Don't want that, so obviously I want this. And you do 5 or 6 relationships, and you're like, yeah, I kind of know what I want now. Right? Anybody else? There is no live show on November 23rd, 23rd, 24th, whatever the next 2 Thursdays from now is. That's our American Thanksgiving. Okay? Anybody else have any questions? Gwyneth. Gwyneth is raising her hands to something. I'm not sure what. Okay. Okay, so if you guys are all good, then we can end the live stream pretty soon. If there are no more burning desires, is that it? No more questions? Okay, so I want you to know that during the Thanksgiving weekend here, American Thanksgiving, I'll be having a big sale on the Dating Games Guide. If you don't have it, we've now added something like another 10 or 12 hours. So it's 26, 27 hours worth of material, and that'll go on sale. It's cheap to begin with. It always updates automatically. If you buy it now, it'll always be updating. It's not static. And it is an app, free app that you put on your phone, and you call up every video that has a game or something weird happening or you don't know what it is, and it will drive you to the exact place in every single video where I'm talking about that exact same keyword. Okay? Now that's one. Okay. Same is true with older women and younger men. We've got that if you're in an age-varied relationship. And Angelina, hello. Hi, Susan. Yes. This has been helpful as always, Susan. Thank you, Carrie. Let's see. Okay, y'all are talking to each other. Okay, so here we go. What in the world does that say? Michelin, I have no idea what I've written here. Merch line. I can't read my own writing. So I have a new design on the merch line. You're so big and strong. And it doesn't really go with a lot of these videos. It's just for me because I like it. It's good for the gym. It's good for a humorous thing to wear around your partner. It's whatever. I just wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. So that's all there is to it. And I'll be showing different people will be wearing this. And so I'll be showing that on social media. And for those of you who don't know, we had a pet costume contest. But I only told people who were on the newsletter. And the newsletter is on the very first page of susanwinter.net at the very bottom. It says, join the newsletter. I do not sell your information. I don't hit you up that often. Actually, I only do like one newsletter a month. And maybe I'll do special ones for announcements, like when I'm in Miami or when I'm going to Southeast Asia for a month. I will let you know things there because you're a collected group that I know who you are. So I don't make every announcement to the general public for many reasons, privacy, whatever, everything else. So please remember, if anybody here is in Southeast Asia, I will be in Singapore for 11 days. I will be in Bangkok and Saigon. If anybody is in the Miami area, I will be there on December 6th, taking in-persons. I'm there for business, but I will be taking a handful of in-persons on December 6th. There will be a special link that goes through to that. There won't be a live show that week. You're going to have, when I'm in Southeast Asia, there's not going to be any live shows, but I'll put in fresh videos for you on Thursday. I think it's like 13, 14 hours different. And I'm not going to be up at 2 in the morning. Okay. And you're not going to be up at 2 in the morning. So it's just, I'm not going to do it. And consultations. Don't forget, there are fewer times to work with me. And I know most of you go away on the weekends. You want to do stuff. I'm so busy during the week in New York, pretty much Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, Sunday night. That's maybe on Mondays. There are less times with me now for a couple weeks. If you want a consultation, don't wait. Do not be in pain. The small amount of money that you pay may look like a lot, but you're going to get all the way through it. I'm not going to take you through 6 weeks of something to give you an answer that I can do in an hour. Okay? So don't hesitate to sign up for a consultation if you see that one's available, because I'm offering fewer and fewer of those. All right, everybody, I think that's it. So if anybody else has any questions, if you don't, I'm going to get off. I thank you all. Thank you again, and greetings from Poland. Bazia, thank you so much for that. Thanks for your wonderful advice, Susan. You are welcome, Richard, Kia, Mia. Ciao to all the Susanites. Sylvia, thank you, everybody. Miss Seaside Hill Granny, thank you. And B and Gwyneth, thank you so much for being my wonderful moderators. And I cannot tell you how much I adore both of you. This is a labor of love. I don't pay them, folks. I just think they are fabulous, and they are so good to me, as you all are. So if you have any problems, let me know. Write the video chats. Maybe I'll pull it up in one of the live shows. But if you really do have a problem, I urge you, just book a time. We'll talk about it, okay? Jillian, everybody, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Take care now. Bye-bye.